Guys, hope all is well with each and every one of you. Are you guys moving? I hope you all are moving, okay? Because right now, I just want you all to know that we are working on those 10,000 steps today. I've come to the conclusion that maybe every other day I'll start working out. Start with strength training, and then after strength training on Monday, then on Tuesday, I'll probably just focus on my 7 to 10,000 steps. And then I want to pull in, on Wednesday, I want to do boxing. Hello, how are you doing, Jinx? Hope all is well with you, sister. Welcome into Life with Paulette, guys. If you're just coming in, go ahead and hit that like button. Today, we're just going to talk in regards to health and fitness. I just wanted everybody to know that we are staying consistent. I just got off the phone. My hubby was talking about. He was like, you know what? I know that I'm noticing, honey, that you've been losing a few pounds, and I was like, yeah, babe, you know what? And he was like, well, maybe because you were getting ready to go all the way. Hi, Sister Jolene. Welcome to Life with Paulette. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're just coming in. Today is health and fitness, guys. We are going to talk in regards of consistency, okay? Keep moving consistently, because most of the time, guys, what hems us up is that consistent part. It just poof, it just goes through the window. Okay, so hubby came and we were on the phone, because you know how you go, you married folk, you love birds, right around lunchtime you're gonna get that phone call and everybody's just telling you, how much you love each other. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Well, that's what happens to me. Okay, thank you, Sister Jolene. So we were just chit-chatting. He's like, you definitely kept your focus and consistency, and I just want to give you a high five because you did lose some of the weight. And I was like, whoa, yeah, babe. And he's like, at first I thought that you were losing the weight because you were getting ready for your to travel and vacation and all that stuff. And I was like, so by the way, my husband and my mom, they're two of the most toughest opponents, okay, when it comes to losing weight and to give you your high five. They're tough. Okay, so when they get to the point that they're giving you high five because of whatever you're doing and is doing it good, I just want you to know that you're doing a little something that's worth their while. And so my husband said, you lost some weight. He said, I thought that you were losing the weight based upon you getting ready to go on vacation. And I was like, no. I said, I basically got like a wake-up call a few months prior, because what happened was, when you go to the doctors and the doctor is giving you that nice little read down of the things that you should and you should not do. I had a whole lot of like hiccups at the beginning, a few years ago, where they told me, if you're not watching what you're eating, if you're not doing this or you're not doing the other thing, that you have the tendency of, becoming a diabetic. Type 2. Type 1, I think, is the one that you're born with. I don't have that one. But when you gain a certain amount of weight, guys, you put yourself at risk. So I was not paying any mind. I was like, I go to gym, I work out 24/7. I can do 3 workouts in a day. I can eat as much as I want. Well, guys, right after the corona, my wake-up call came in, okay? Because I started to gain the weight. I know of the body. I no longer had control of what my cravings was, all whack and all out of place. So I ended up then deciding I need to do something. So like anything, you start all these fad diets, you eat a cookie today and you can't eat one for the rest of your life, that type of diet, those one that you can have 1 grain of rice, and if you eat an extra grain, then you're gonna, it's gonna mess up the whole little equilibrium that you're going through your body. So I basically just didn't have any control over myself. I just I would just continuously kept eating to the point where I had no control. I would go to bed and I'll be like, oh my God, I should have had that extra piece of pizza. When you just couldn't get your mind off of food, the weight was just coming on. There was nobody telling you, well, you gain a little bit of weight up there, right? Nobody is telling it to you. Everybody's just looking at you like, oh, okay, oh. That's about all you get, like and you are wishful thinking in your eyes, and then saying to yourself in denial that I'm not worried about anything because I'm not fat. I would tell myself, I'm not fat, not a little bit. Oh gosh, I'm good to go. However, though, guys, that creeped up. The big back started to come out. You look in the mirror and you're like, wait a minute, something is off. Why is it that when I look down, I no longer can see anything? I can't see the tip of my toes anymore. Something is growing, but I don't feel fat. And then that's how it started. So for me, my whole life, I've been on diets. I've been trying to work on this diet, and it's working for me, guys, and it worked for a little bit. I did the lemonade diet. Y'all know that Beyonce diet. I know everybody know about the lemonade diet. We did that. We did the lemonade diet where you lost 2 pounds in one day, and oh my gosh, guys, but then you lose the 20 pounds and gain 40. Okay, so that didn't work. That was another fad that I did that I regretted afterwards. Then after that, I started the 3 days military diet where you can eat ice cream, vanilla ice cream. Who don't like ice cream? You all know I love me some ice cream. So we did that, and you lose your little 6 to 10 pounds, and you just felt like, oh, okay. But 6 to 10 pounds is good when you only have about 20 to lose. When you have over 50 pounds, 6 to 10 pounds is not even a dart in it. And that means you have doubled up and tripled up that weight gain. So 6 to 10 pounds, you're going to need to do that diet more than once, okay? And then all of a sudden, you get to the point where you get overwhelmed with it and you just give in, okay? You're going to buy that large or extra large, and when you're in 2X, and then all of a sudden you tell your body, oh, it's 2X is comfortable. You just want to be comfortable. And you start lying to yourself. You start looking in the mirror, and then your surroundings, yes, you surroundings, don't be honest with people. Well, you can't be honest with too much people because not everybody can handle the truth, okay? Not everybody can handle you telling them, you look like a little cupcake, yeah, a little fluffy. Not everybody wants you to tell it to them. So at the end of the day, guys, I went for a wake-up call. One day I was in my garage and we were doing clothes, and I was changing my clothes, and my husband just, he was doing laundry, and I said, babe, I think you're putting on the dryer a little bit too long. Now, he didn't know what the doctor had told me prior, right? And I mentioned to him he's drying the clothes on too much of high heat, and my husband looked at me. Yes, that same man that at the beginning of our conversation I told you guys that we had, and he gave me high five for, on my weight loss journey that I'm currently on, and he was so proud of me. That same person looked me in the eyes and he said, babe, it's not the dryer, it's you. Oh, my feelings were so hurt. I was like, oh my God. But imagine if he did not tell me that. I would have never known. I would always think, oh, you're fine. Have you ever been around the fine people, the people that always tell you, girl, you're fine. Girl, you're fine. And knowing that they're seeing something. I always tell my friends, I am one of the most honestest person, and don't ask my opinion if you don't want to hear it, okay? So you keep telling me, did I gain weight? I know I gained weight. And I look at you and you say, Paulette, did I gain weight? Yes, you did. I'm not going to lie to you because I know when I gain weight, okay? So long story short, I got the result from the doctor. They told me that I was I was one little dot, one slice away from being diabetic. And that scared me. My mom is diabetic, and I just know that us brown people, we tend to, and you have other color people, but I'm talking about us brown people, we tend to love our little cholesterol. We don't have high cholesterol, or we don't have that little borderline diabetes. We ain't doing nothing with that food. You understand what I'm saying? We love all the flavor, every ounce of grease. It has to just be to the right thing. And guys, I just want you to know is that the doctor read me my rights, and I said I wanted to stay around for my kids a little bit longer. And I went to work, guys. I told you guys from last year that I made a mental shift. I made a mental change, and my husband telling me that it wasn't the dryer, it was me that totally broke the camel's back. So now here I am having the doctors who is professional diagnosers plus my husband's truth, And my mother, by the way, too, telling you, you're getting out of hand now, you're eating, ooh, and every time you go grab a plate, it's like, oh my God, now watch how much you gonna put on that plate, Paulette. It's like, oh, it's so draining, but it's so needed. Sometimes you need onesie, twosie, those friends or those family members that just, yeah, they get on your nerves every once in a while. However, though, it's so much needed. It's so much needed. I needed that. If I didn't get that today, I would not be where I'm at when it comes to my weight loss. I switched up. I decided to start eating smaller portions. I started to eat to live and not live to eat anymore. That's an issue a lot of us have, where we're just eating and we're eating to live. Like, if we're gonna die, we gotta just keep eating instead, and then living, we live to eat, where we just eating. I want to eat enough so that I can survive to the next meal, not overdoing it. And I feel, hi, Sister Tanya. Welcome to Life with Paulette. Today we're talking. So I just want you guys to know that consistency does work. And don't get weary in well doings, okay? Because when I went on vacation, I was not expecting to come back with all of that amount of weight. And I went away for 2 months. So to be like, oh my God, Paulette, you lost that weight. Yeah, I didn't know. I just was doing what I was supposed to do. And honestly, actually, this internet, it just dipped and reconnected. So I don't know if you all can even hear me. But if you can hear me, I just want to say, just give me a little thumbs up there to let me know. But if you can't hear me, then I apologize, okay? But going back to my health scare, once the doctor told me, you're borderline, you're just one more chance for you to get this thing right and start going down instead of increasing. Every time I would go and take my blood test, my glucose was higher and higher right there, and I was one little dot away from being called a diabetic, and I didn't want that. So what I turned around and did, guys, I changed my thought process. I changed the way that I was eating. I changed when I stopped eating and when I started eating. I started doing a lot of intermittent fasting, meaning that I'll stop eating around a certain time and start breaking my fast, like, after my workouts, or after like midday, 11 to 12 o'clock. I share this on my Facebook channel. So if you're not on my Facebook channel, I highly recommend you go over there, look for Paulette Hogan, and follow on Facebook, because sometimes I'll come on here, but when you don't see me on YouTube, look for me on Facebook. I'll give you updates on that one. Right now, Facebook is being not so nice to me, because every time I'll upload a little video, they'll turn around and just duplicate it. And I'm like, why is it going through this little bug, But that's what's going on, guys. Health and fitness was today. I wanted to share with you guys not to get weary and well doing when it comes to your health. Don't take it for granted. Today we can be here and tomorrow we can be gone. And yes, if you pass across the mirror and look back and your butt is still in the mirror catching up with you, you need to make a change, okay? If you look back and that booty is still walking, okay, past the mirror, you need to make a change, okay? If you look, okay, in the mirror, it's you, all right? It's you. So let's start to move. And like I mentioned on my Facebook channel today, you don't have to be no professional and perfectionist when it comes to moving. You can start anywhere. Some folks, I would advise you guys, if you're going to start the steps, you can start your steps at, I would say, 1,000, 2,000. You definitely, by the kitchen to the bedroom to the kitchen, that's 2,000 steps. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're going to go outside, if you're going to do anything around your houses, like Sister A. Brown and her garden, I just want you all to know that, if you have any garden outside, y'all can go and walk around outside, get your gardens all up to date. You're going to be like 2, 3, 4,000 steps. 10,000 steps is only 5 miles a day. 5 miles a day is 10,000 steps. It's a piece of cake, right? For some of us. For most of us, we look outside and the sun is out. We're like, I ain't going outside. Hi, Sister A. Brown. Welcome into Life with Paulette. Today we are talking in regards to health and fitness. I want to make sure that everybody start on this weight loss journey. It's not too late, okay? At this point, this is the first birthday that I said I was going to be at a certain weight, and I am getting there. My birthday is in September. Okay, and every September for the last 10 years, I would say, my birthday, I'm going to be this size. I'm going to be this size. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. Well, I'm close to 40 pounds weight loss right now. And I just want you guys to know that it feels good. Okay, it feels good when you're walking around in your long skirt and you're walking around in your long sleeve, and you don't got to worry about your gut flying out. Now I still got a little extra back fat that I'm working on, but you know what? I feel good. I don't have to worry about like hyperventilating because I'm walking up a stairs or something. Like it's an extra 10 pounds is good. However, though, don't think about the pounds. Think about the lifestyle changes that you want to do. And they don't have to be a lot of changes, guys. It could be little small changes here and there that you tweak. Instead of drinking, instead of drinking soda every half an hour, you drink water. For those that don't like water, they have hydration little cubes that you can put into your water that's 0 calories, that you can still get hydrated. They have little 0 calorie drink. I love sparkling water with the different flavors, just in case you want to go and you want to do that. But losing the weight is not the issue. It's changing the habit. The habit is what is the problem, guys. If we could think about 10 pounds, I could think about 20 pounds now, because I already found the Achilles heel that was keeping me back, and it was my mind, the thought process. You're hungry. You're not hungry. You're probably thirsty. You're probably dehydrated. And you know that, and I knew that. But guess what? That body is like, I know you lie. You better bring me that 2 pieces of pizza, when you know a few little pieces of pizza, probably a half a pizza was just all your body needed at that moment in time. But your big eyes, your stomach wanted you to have like 3 pieces of pizza in order to feel full. You don't need all that pizza in you, all that dough inside of your body. No, you don't. And what it does is it's going to trigger your peckishness. So the more that you eat bad foods, the more you get peckish and the more you eat. So if you just had lunch and you're thinking about dinner, or you're thinking about that snack, something was in that food that's causing you to crave, the cravings, all the salt, the sugar, all that. And don't get me wrong, right now I'm going to give you guys what I'm doing, and maybe y'all want to jump on board with me, but this is what works for me, okay? And I mentioned at the beginning, I stopped eating at a certain time of the evenings, okay? I was never a breakfast person. Give me my cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and that's my fasted. That don't break your fast, by the way, if you have coffee and tea without the sugar and all the cream. And I can go to my workout. I work out fasted. I am not eating a stomach full of food when I have to go and work out. Okay, so I am fasted, in my fasted state, when I go and I do my workouts, when I'm lifting weights, when I'm jogging, when I go on hikes. I do not fool myself. What I do is hydrate myself the night prior when I'm going to have a strenuous workout, okay? That's what I do. Now, I am ready to eat with a vengeance right around 11, 12 o'clock. Don't even talk to me unless I eat, because you may not like what's going to come out of my mouth. I'm going to be hungry, okay? I'm hungry because I already did all the extra work. My body is burning and it's ready for some calories, meaning some energy for me to put into it. So around 11, 12, I'm going to have me a healthy lunch. What's for my lunch, Paulette, you may ask? Oh my God, what am I eating? Okay, first of all, to break my fast, you break your fast with healthy carbs, mainly proteins and good fats. And when I say good fats, you're talking about avocados. You're talking about, you all know I love me some kefir or kefir. That's like a yogurt in a bottle. I showed it to you guys on prior videos. However, though, with that being said, that's what I break my fast with, okay? And when it comes to healthy fats, avocado is a great way for you to break your fast. When you're talking about breaking your fast after that strenuous workout, you can have yourself a nice green smoothie. Get a little fruit, not too much. You blend, put it in a blender. You get some kale, or you get some, you can put all your nice little avocado, peanut butter, whatever you want to put up in there. Go easy on the peanut butter though, because when your stomach is in a fasted state and you add too much stuff up in there, you tend to get a little bloated or gassy. And we don't want that. We want to coat the stomach with the right amount of foods, so that way when you do put carbs in, the bad carbs or the carbs that you know you should skip every once in a while, you're not going to be getting all bloated. Okay, your little worms is not going to activate right away, because you're giving them good bacteria into your system. Now, like I mentioned, or a juice. If you do juicing, you can have a nice 12 to 16 ounce of juice to break your fast, and then you go and you have your pancakes if you want it, instead of 2, maybe 1. Your waffles you can have after you break your fast with the healthy things that I said. That's what I do. Okay, now on a next note, what I'm saying is that once I have me break my fast with that, I will go and I'll have lunch. Now, my lunch, not all the time is going to be with all this, vegetable here and vegetable there and fruits here. Sometimes after I coat my stomach with the right bacterias, I will go and I can have me a normal, a little bit of rice here, a protein, and a salad. Sometimes I don't have no salad. Sometimes I'll go and I'll have me a nice bowl of vegetable ramen with 2 boiled eggs with some hot sriracha, and you may say, but Paulette, that's bad carbs, or that's so salty. Yeah, but you all didn't hear what I said prior. I went fasted to a workout. I lifted weight, so my body is in burning mood. So any carbs that I do eat after I layer my stomach or my gut with the right amount of foods, it will just burn right back off of me. Okay, so lunch for me is dinner for some of you guys. I prefer a nice big lunch with a dessert. Yes, I do have a little dessert. Sometimes it's a healthy dessert, and sometimes, I may have a little piece of cake here and there, or have a little piece of cookie here. Well, not a little piece of cookie. I'll have a whole cookie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll have a whole cookie. But that's lunchtime. And remember, my body is burning because I just finished workout right around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So my body is burning that all off. And then for dinner, guys, I go about my way and I work. And then for dinner, I'll sit down and, I may have a nice little healthy dinner as well. Sometimes it has vegetables in it. Sometimes it don't. I may have a frozen meal. May or may not, but I'm done by a certain time. By 6 o'clock, I'm done eating. If I eat anything after 6 o'clock, I am drinking water, or I am putting myself in a place where some fruit, some nice little frozen grapes, just to give your mouth that little, soothe your gut and your little taste buds of something that you're chewing on, but in reality is healthy. Do I get a little small bag of chips sometimes in the evening? Yes. Like I said, I don't want to put myself in a place where I was a few years ago, where I will restrict myself from these things, and your body crave them. And guess what? When you cave in, you're going to overdo that 10 times worse. So instead of a little small bag to soothe your little cravings, you may end up eating the whole big jumbo bag, the family pack. Y'all know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about? So why restrict yourself? I understand now the people that was telling you, do not restrict yourself from the foods. Your body wants that. It craves it. You just got to know how much to put into there, okay? Instead of eating the half of the slice just to taste it. It's okay. Okay? Don't feel guilty for a piece of cake. That's what I tell myself now. But you imagine me back then, I'll be like, I can't have cake. And I'll go to bed dreaming about cake. I'll have nightmare about that piece of cake that I want. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm going to eat that cake. And I'll go in that kitchen and I'll slice that big war cake. We call it war cake. You know the chocolate cake with the caramel icing on it? We call it war cake. And trust me, I will go to war on that cake. I'll be eating that thing. And then after a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'll start the diet tomorrow. And then the following day will come and you'll be like, oh, I'll start the diet tomorrow. And guess what? You never start a diet, because every every day there's something that you wanted to eat and you crave, and you go into the cravings. And don't mind those people that say don't fall into the cravings. It's like people telling you, don't fall into to the sin when we're surrounded by sin. We all gonna come short. Every day you come short with something. It's hard. It's like throwing corn to the chicken and telling them don't eat it, and they're hungry. They're gonna eat it. So instead of doing that, you tell them, if instead of 4 tablespoons of ice cream, just maybe 1 tablespoon of ice cream, and that's enough for your body. You don't need four. You probably just need one, just to give your body the taste of it. So that's what I've been doing, guys. That's what I'm over 40 pounds weight loss right now, and I'm consistent. I'm starting off with 3 days out of the week workout. I do workout. I lift weights. You all know I've been lifting weights on Mondays and on Fridays. I do my heavy weightlifting in between. I started boxing on Wednesday. On Tuesday and Thursday that I used to do body combat, I slowed down a little bit. Why? Because my body is getting to the point where I was doing too much. So instead of doing 5 to 6 days out of the week and throwing in all that extra energy that I can't recover that fast, I cannot recover as fast as I used to at this point in time. I can't. And I'm not going to put myself in it. And I don't want you to put yourself in a position either that you can't keep up. So I would say 3 to 4 days out of the habit to do this, Sorry. Can you hear me now? If you guys can hear me, let me know. It just resumed. I don't know. This is a new thing for me. This internet is is acting a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But going back to what I was saying, guys, don't get weary in well doing. Stay consistent, because when you stay consistent with your workouts, with your activities, and you don't have to be in a gym in order to be productive. Okay, you could go outside and you could figure out what you want to do outside. Go in the garden, walk around the neighborhood a few times, wait till the sun go down, because I know certain places is hot. Yes, I'm so sorry. Can hear that. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It froze on me a few minutes ago. But you know what? Even the internet is being like, Paulette, you talked a lot now. Okay, you're coming up on your 30 minutes. We need to wrap it up. I think you see that? That little internet is telling me, giving me a time. And you know what? I probably did talk a lot and dragging you into this conversation. So this is the second time he's going to do this. He's doing it again. So I just want you all to know, I don't know what's going on in the background, why the internet is doing this to me, but I just want you all to know. And I'm going to finalize it now. So give me a few seconds more before my 30 minutes is up. Not to get weary and well doing. You start wherever you're at, in your house, outside of your house, around the neighborhood, and you don't have to be in a gym in order to make the change. The change starts from the mind. You have to change your mind, your thought process. Don't be like me, getting no scared some when the doctor told me that I was one more level in order for her to put me on insulin. And I didn't want to hear that. Okay. I saw my mom go through diabetes. She been struggling with that after for the last couple of years. After my brother, she had gestational diabetes, and that affected the way that she can maneuver. And once I was so close to becoming a diabetic, I had to change. It was out of everybody else around me control. It was me that had to do the change. And thank God that from the doctor's diagnose and my husband, nice little words of, it's not the dryer, it's you, honey. That's the change process. Something I said today can change your thought process as well, so that way you can be around for your families and your loved ones a little bit longer, because health is something that we take for granted, and I don't want none of us on here today to abuse Too late has changed. Guys, thanks for stopping by Life. We are back Tuesday, Thursday. Today is Thursday, Tuesday. We're doing Reset Tuesday. On Thursday is health and fitness. And you all know how we talk about health and fitness. I am a living proof. Over 40 pounds of weight loss just by the changing your mind. Minister Ma said, you change your mind, you change your thought process. I took the words of the minister and I put it to work and it worked. Okay. So don't tell me I'm a little fluffy and it's okay. It's not okay. If you're 50 pounds, if you're 10 pounds overweight, we could talk about it. If you're 20 pounds overweight, we can still talk about it. Now, if you're 30 pounds overweight, we need to talk about this. You need share this video because somebody need to hear it. Okay. When you come on here and you hear a little word here and there and you don't want to tell that friend that she's a little fluffy, just send her my video. I'll tell her for you. Okay. Let me fix it. You a little fluffy. If you are 20, 30, 40, 50 and above pounds, you're fluffy and you need to change. We need to start changing the thought process. We need to start changing the mind. And you need to change sooner than later before the doctor tells you it's too late. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. A bitty good eve, babies. Bye bye. Thanks for coming in to Life with Paulette. I love each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, okay? And subscribe to this channel, by the way. If you're new here and you just subscribe, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, and hopefully that you find your resting spot. All right, love you. Thank you, Sister Abra, Sister Tanya. Thank you, Jinx. Thank you all that came in. For those that I didn't get to mention your names and you're in the background, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for showing up and always coming to show your support. I appreciate you. Love y'all. Bye-bye, babies. Deuces.